Hello and welcome once again to the practice ground here at Howley Hall Golf Club, where today I've got a brand new set of irons from Callaway Golf to take a look at. Bertha is back. We've got the big Bertha B21 irons. Hi there, Ryan Rastall here for Golfshake.com, and as I've said, we've got a very familiar name but a very new iron from Callaway Golf. But before we get into all of that, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, see loads more content from all of us here at Golfshake to help you play more and play better. So let's talk about the new Big Bertha B21 iron. So this has been re-engineered completely from the last model that was out from Callaway a couple of years ago. Now, Big Bertha has often been synonymous with Callaway introducing new technologies and more kind of aimed at the game improvement sector of the golf market, and this is no different really. So Big Bertha has been designed to help your mid to high handicapper particularly launch the ball slightly better than many other irons that they've produced. Now, it's going to be very much aimed at that game improver end of the market in a couple of ways. So Callaway have done lots of testing when they've used mid to high handicap players and how they strike the ball, where they hit it on the face, what the flight looks like, the spin, the launch, the dynamic loft, all of these characteristics that are really important for hitting good golf shots. Callaway have gone away and thought about and put as much knowledge as they have at the moment into this Big Bertha B21 iron. So many of you will have seen Callaway have used AI technology in the last couple of years with drivers and fairway woods and the Maverick series of irons that came out earlier this year. Now, Callaway have used AI again in this iron's design in the way that the flash face is designed, and it's not just one face fits all the irons in this set. The faces have been individually designed depending on loft. So your pitching wedge face needs to work differently to a 4-iron or a 5-iron face, and Callaway have done that in this set of irons. So every single head has been designed individually. The face has been designed with AI individually to really help players who strike it in different parts of the face and not necessarily the middle, because let's face it, we don't all hit the middle, but your higher handicapper is generally going to miss the middle of the face more often. So the way that these faces work is that if we hit it low out the heel or the toe, we're still going to get really great ball speed and forgiveness and launch. So the way that Callaway have done this, as well as using the AI face, is by using lots of tungsten in the head as well. So you can see the word tungsten on the bottom of the in the cavity in the back of the iron there, and this is the Callaway's tungsten energy core, which it used in Maverick iron as well, but for the first time we can actually see what it's doing. So a visible tungsten energy core, or VTEC technology that Callaway use, where we can see this tungsten here sort of low and deep in the head to really help with launching the ball. But there's also lots of tungsten inside this head that you can't see. So it's moved around inside the club head to really help maximize those off-center hits, get weight lower in the head, change the CG, and really get the trajectory of your shots more where we want to see them from a high handicap player. Generally, the high handicappers I teach or fit, they tend to come over the top, they're decreasing dynamic loft, and basically it launches quite low with lots of spin. Now, what this iron is trying to do is to help that player get better flight and better launch on the golf ball. So it's doing it with those technologies we've spoken about, as well as the shaft that we've got in this club as well. So the KBS Max CT80 is the steel option, and the RC8 shaft, which many of you will remember from irons that came out sort of in the 90s that Callaway used to make themselves, really adds to the quality of this iron and also helps in the trajectory that it's trying to accomplish. So it does that by having quite a soft tip section in all these shafts. So like I spoke about before, the dynamic loft of most players coming into a ball when they slice it tends to be quite low. So this is actually helping to increase that slightly, get a bit more launch and a bit more kind of flight and trajectory on the ball for that higher handicap golf. I must admit that when I've been out there on the golf course with these irons, I've chucked them in some really bad lies, some divots, some really thick rough, and could not believe how easily these clubs come out of those type of lies. And I found myself sometimes kind of stood there smiling, almost laughing at how easy the ball comes out and how high the trajectory is out of a seemingly kind of dead position really on the golf course, and certainly somewhere that if I was using my current bladed set, I just have not a prayer of getting it out of the lie that it was in. But the way that these irons launch off the fairway, but also out of those tough lies that you find yourselves in just off the fairway, or you know, if you do find yourself in a divot or a really bare lie, it's just so easy to get the ball in the air. And for that player who really needs that help, these irons could be an absolute godsend. So I thought we'd try and put these Big Bertha B21 irons to the test out of some bad lies here on the golf course. So I've set up two here with 204 yards from the flag, so I'm going to use the 5 iron and see how we get on. But I've got one ball which is sat down in a divot, and the other one is in a pretty heavy lie here in the rough. So I'm going to try and get them out of here and see how it performs. So I'm just walking up to the green now, and I thought, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I thought I'd just show you exactly where these shots have gone. The one out the divot, difficult lie to be honest, not an easy one to hit, but came out sort of lowish really, but much higher than I would have expected had I used my own 5 iron out that lie. And we've ended up just short of the green here, so yeah, not too bad really. But let me tell you, the one I hit out the rough, you know, it wasn't particularly, you know, it wasn't a horrible lie or anything, but I'd really struggled to get any sort of flight on it with my own 5 iron. But this thing came, it was like an 8 iron when it was in the air. It was so high, and look where it's landed. It's pitched there. We're staring at a nice eagle putt of about 10 feet. So easy to get out of those poor lies. And yeah, I mean, I was stood there just watching the ball in the air, and I just couldn't believe the height it came out with. But yeah, these irons are super easy to launch out of really, really bad lies. So a lot of people always ask when we do these reviews, what are the short irons like and what do they like to play little chips and stuff with. So I thought I'd just come back about 40 yards short of the green. I'll hit a couple of little chip and runs and show you. As you can see, fairly easy to play those shots. The first one was a pretty poor one, but second one, yeah, was quite good. But it didn't feel really springy off the face like I was expecting it to be honest. It felt quite solid, and I think that's when we're talking about the flash face technology and how they're designed for the different lofts in the irons. The shorter ones certainly don't need to feel springy. They actually feel really nice to chip them and hit those lower shots with when you're not hitting them with high club head speed. So they've really thought about how they feel off the face for those types of shots. So yeah, pretty good. These irons are due out first week of September, so you should start seeing them anytime sort of from mid to late August. But definitely go and get yourselves fitted. Go and try them out and just look at the ball flight. I mean, they are so easy to hit. And I know a lot of you will be saying, well, what's the difference between these and the Maverick Max? Well, quite a lot, to be honest. In some places, the soles on these irons are up to 50% wider than Maverick Max, so much easier to launch, much easier to get in the air, and they're designed to really flight that ball much higher, and they're a different trajectory to Maverick Max. I've had a lot of success fitting Maverick Max to players who tend to add lots of dyne, almost scoop the ball off the ground and hit it really high with tons of spin, because Maverick Max tended to come out slightly lower spin and launch. This iron is not aimed at that type of player. It's completely different. You are going to get super forgiveness, big blade length as well, so you can hit it all over the face and still get fantastic results. So very different to Maverick Max in the type of player and the type of ball striker that it's aimed at, really. but it's definitely an iron you should go out and get fitted for. Go and see your local Callaway stockist and Callaway custom fitter, get properly fitted and see exactly what this new Big Bertha B21 iron can do for you. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I've absolutely loved trying these golf clubs, and as you've seen, I've used them in lots of different places around the golf course here at Howley. Yeah, see you all very, very soon, and please keep watching all of our videos here at Golfshake to help you play more and play better.